Welcome to Radio Entrepreneurs. This is Steve Scheer, sitting in for Jeffrey Davis, and we're always interviewing interesting people. And today we have a very interesting person, Gary Jaffarian from Jaffarian Group, a fourth-generation auto dealership, I would say.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the group, Gary, and welcome, by the way.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for having me. And it's always great to share our the culture and history of our company and our success, and through the ups and downs over the 75 years. My name's Gary Jaffarian, and I am the third generation of a fourth-generation family-run business. My grandparents started in the late 1930s, 1938, with a small one-room gas station, and they both worked in the shoe factories in Haverhill, which was predominantly all shoe manufacturing back in that era. And like a lot of people at that time, took advantage of the American dream, opened their own business. And so as they worked in the shoe factory, they had a little gas station, and my grandfather's cousin Charlie worked for him during the day as a mechanic. So anyhow, and then my dad grew up in it through school and worked after school. And they went from gas stations and tires and full service to eventually taking on Hudson, which was an automobile line back then. And we've been in the same location, just to skip fast forward, now 75 years later. We're four generations strong, still in Haverhill, two beautiful facilities, and we employ about 80 to 85 people, a little bit up, depending on seasonality. And it's how do you say it? We love it. The employees are great. The culture of the store is great. And I spoke yesterday, a woman that worked for my grandfather. She now lives in upstate New York, and she called and needed some advice on what to do with her 140,000-mile Camry. And she said, it's so great to see you guys doing so well. And I said to her, Claire, really, it's simple. We operate by the same rules and standards, and the culture of the store is the same as it was when my grandmother and grandfather started. And, we're a hands-on family business, and that's what we bring to the table. It's a lot of fun. And as my family went up through the years, I guess I can take you through the history a little bit of it.
Please.
My dad wanted to... in 1958, he was 30 years old. I was 2 years old. And he went to the library, Haverhill Public Library, got a book on foreign cars. Wanted to sell a real good quality car. He was selling Rambler at the time. And he read up on this Volvo, Swedish car, great car, safe, sounded pretty good. So he contacted Volvo Cars of North America and became a Volvo dealer in 1958 at 30 years old. And at that time, he was still doing all the repairs. He would sell a part and sell a car. So if you came in to purchase a Volvo, they'd go out and get Dad. He'd be under a car working on something and come out and sell you a car and go back to his work. And then as we grew in 1962, Toyota came in with the Toyota Land Cruiser with an American Toyota exec and a Japanese executive, and looking for existing import dealers to take on this, at that time, unknown Japanese product. So Dad crawled all around this Land Cruiser, which was a tank then and still is a tank. Yeah. It's still the creme de la creme of SUVs. He said, if you're going to build automobiles as good as this truck, it will become number one in my lifetime. I'll become a Toyota dealer. So he had to buy one vehicle and $500 worth of parts inventory. At that time, 1962, not that far after World War II. It took a lot of guts and a lot of. He had just a way about him. He just had this vision, and people criticized him and ridiculed, and said, "How can you take on this car? What are you going to do with it?" And back then, Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, Buick, Pontiac, those were the dominant. Ford, what's a Toyota? Right. So fast forwarding, the business, continued to grow, and I got more and more involved. I went to school at Northern Essex Community College, which, by the way, I think these community colleges are a great resource that we have. And I was so involved in the business, I really didn't want to go to school. I wanted to continue to work on cars, sell cars, and why do I need school? Well, as the oldest of 6 grandchildren that my grandparents saved every week, would go to the bank and put money in the bank account, divide the extra money by 6 so each child would have college tuition. So it was kind of on my shoulders, a burden. I said, I'm going to have to do this. So I went to Northern Essex, then I transferred to Merrimack College and graduated from there in 1978 in North Andover, and kind of evolved into taking over. Prior to that, my parents and grandparents, they had us work in all the departments in the store. So myself and my two younger brothers, Paul and Mark, we worked in the service, we worked in the parts department, we worked in the auto body shop. So each summer we would be assigned to a different department. And we kind of all fell into our own areas. I was more the front end guy. My brother Paul, unfortunately now deceased, he ran the parts and service along with my brother Mark. So today it's still how it works. My brother Mark oversees the body shop and collision center, and I'm in the main building with my son Gavin, who's 25. But it allowed us now, when I look back, the way they raised us in the business, we understand, all of us understand enough about each department, which when we talk about why are we different? Well, we're different from other automobile retailers because the ownership and the people that are there running the day-to-day operation, we are the business. We know the business. We've been in every department. We understand it. We're there from open to close pretty much every day. I have, as I came up through the ranks, through the business, we continued to expand and grow the business. And in 2003, 10 years ago, we opened a brand new 60,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility. And we've been there just over 10 years now. June of this year was 10 years. Wow. And through that time, we've continued to receive a lot of awards. We've been Massachusetts Volvo Dealer of the Year for DealerRated.com 2 consecutive years in a row, which is great for us. And as a Toyota dealer, we were runner-up to another Armenian Toyota dealer, Two Functions in Braintree. So I guess if we're going to be runner-up, at least we kept it in the family.
There you go. That's very nice. Yeah.
So that's pretty good. But we continue in people's customers. The feedback is we love to come in your store. We love the way the people are, and it's ongoing. The feedback that I get, they'll say, my salesman was so nice to me. My service people were so nice to me. Your facility is so clean. Well, if you have to have a culture, we're talking, radio entrepreneurs. I mean, you have to have a culture. You have to have a plan, and you've got to tweak it as you go along. But when you get the recipe really, really dialed in, it's a matter of managing that corporate culture and make sure that the people that are part of your team and are employed by you, they have to buy into it. As they say, they have to drink the Kool-Aid. Right. And our people do. And if they don't, they usually just don't. They don't make it. They don't fit in. Right. They you can see that they don't fit in. They're uncomfortable because they just don't. They can't flow with us. Right. One of the things that makes us really different is, how do you brand yourself to be different? As we discussed a little bit before going on air here, I mean, the automobile business is very, very, very competitive. Yes. And the consumer comes in always on guard, on the defensive, afraid of getting ripped off, afraid of getting screwed. So they play, let's try to beat the car dealer, and they shop and shop and shop. And, and as we said, it's $100 less here, $100 there, 50 more here. Where is the bottom? Who knows where it is?
And I'm sure they come in with all this data from the internet.
All the data.
This is what it should cost. Yes. This is what it costs to make it.
Yeah.
This is.
They know. The consumers print out. They bring us information that we've never seen sometimes.
Oh, exactly.
And then it's kind of like hiding the poker hand. They don't want to share it with us. Like, well, let's put all the cars. We have the same book over here. We can. It actually helps a well-educated consumer that's done their research through the internet. It actually helps because the consumer believes in those numbers. Right. That's their number. So if I pull out a sheet and it matches what you have in front of you, now your number, we'll use your numbers. We'll put ours aside. So, and we always encourage people, if you have all that, bring it in. We'll work right from your numbers. Because the automobile industry in the past earned a reputation for a reason. And today, with the internet, with the competitiveness of the industry, you don't have the flim-flam that you had and all the government regulations and consumerism. I mean, a flim-flam artist doesn't survive today.
I don't think they can.
They can't. It's impossible. I mean, you do an oil change and leave a little grease on somebody's steering wheel, and they're posting it online before they even get home. So, I mean, never mind ripping someone off in the showroom. Right. But we make sure, I'm very involved and visible in the store. One of the things that we put in about 5 years ago is we have red phones in each department with a picture of, you can ask Gary if you have a question or want to talk to me. So they're red phones with no dial keypad. Just pick it up and it rings directly to my cell phone.
Oh.
And my phone lights up and says red phone. So what does that do for us? If someone's in service or sales or a body shop and they have any issue or concern or question that they don't feel things are being handled properly, they pick up that red phone and it rings directly to my cell. And at that time, I can jump in. And most cases, my staff is taking care of it. But sometimes they just can't, for whatever reason. And it allows us to take a situation that might have been going a little bit sideways or a little bad and turn it around and fix it right there on the spot. That's one of the things that my staff sells the customer. They point the red phone out and they say, that phone over there, if you want to talk to the owner, Mr. Jaffarian, at any time, pick up the phone, it rings right to his cell phone, and he can address.
And I'm sure that happens frequently.
It happens. Yeah. Most of the calls I get are complimentary.
Oh, that's good.
Most are very complimentary, praising the service that they got. But it's there, and that, again, puts a customer at ease because they have a direct connection. Everybody, if there's a problem, they want to go up the ladder. We want to go to the boss. We want the supervisor. We provide a direct connection right out in the open. There's no hiding. There's no back room. I'm there. And if I'm not there, if I happen to be out somewhere, the red phone, it comes up. So it's again, how do we brand ourselves to be different? And in any business today, you're going to have competition. So it's important, again, to brand yourself the way you want to be, and what does the consumer want? We know today with automobiles, a Toyota or a Volvo, it's the same. They're great automobiles. So the quality of the vehicle is the same regardless of where you purchase it. A Toyota Camry is a Camry, a Volvo S60 is an S60. Well, where do you feel comfortable? We want you to feel comfortable from the minute you go to our website or call into the store or drive onto our property. No matter how you come in contact with us, we want you to feel comfortable. We don't do all kinds of crazy flim-flam stuff on the website. We don't do it in the showroom. It's a very, very comfortable environment. We want everybody at ease. As we say, and you have a friend in the car business with us, we're here to help you with your auto buying needs.
See, that's very, very important in any business, but particularly the car business, because a lot of people think I'm getting ripped off. They always say I got ripped off. But
no matter.
But you look. This is why you've been around for 4 generations.
Yes.
You've seen ups and downs in the economy. I mean, the last couple of years, I think, were very hard economically. I would think people still buy cars, but it's now. Are you seeing the economy improve? I mean, do you see improvements in the economy helping you?
The auto industry in general has seen an uptick in business and volume. I think what we see is our traffic, the amount of people that come through the store, or whether it's by telephone or internet traffic, is increasing. So that, of course, I think means consumer confidence is increasing. Because to make a large ticket purchase like an automobile, whether you're leasing it or purchasing a new or pre-owned, you've got to have confidence. Consumer does, or they're not coming into the store, they're not calling. So we're seeing quite an uptick in traffic. Over this past weekend, the Black Friday weekend.
Oh, that's right.
We were extremely busy. We didn't sell as many cars as we thought we would, but there was a lot of traffic and a lot of interest, and many of those people have been coming back now between Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, and we'll see them during the week. But to have people in the showrooms looking at automobiles and inquiring, that's a huge uptick.
That's fantastic.
So and the incentives that the manufacturers provide also help to drive that.
I was going to say that's very important. I mean, you've Volvos and Toyotas. It's very important. I see Toyota always has something on TV. This is a certain day, but that helps you sell your cars.
Consumers today are conditioned. Whether you want to buy a new television, to look for the flyer, or when you're wanting to get a new automobile to see what the incentives are. And Toyota, being the front runner in the industry, kind of leads the pack with all that. And Toyota knows, as a manufacturer, from the marketing side, if we don't have great incentives, if we don't brand ourselves to be the best as a manufacturer with our incentives, if we don't have the best deal, we can have the best automobile, but if we don't have the best deal, they're not coming to my
It won't mean
dealership.
anything, right? Exactly.
And the same thing with Volvo. Volvo has just re-upped. You know, we've got our new Safe and Secure program back, which is a 3-year comprehensive maintenance package and wear and tear package. Volvo, for example, discontinued Safe and Secure for a while, and the consumers said, what happened?
Right.
That was a nice deal. Well, now it's back as of December 2nd. So if, you know, again, our success is, there are 3 brands. It's the manufacturer of the automobile, Toyota or Volvo. Then it's the retailer's brand, which in my case, Jaffarian, Volvo, Toyota. And then the third is the brand is that person that's the service person or the salesperson. He or she has to brand themselves to be the best that anybody can be.
Absolutely.
And that's how part of our secret recipe.
Gary, I'm going to have you come back. I mean, we've actually, you've very interesting, but we'll definitely have you back.
Yeah, I love it.
If anybody wants to get in touch with you, what's your website?
Well, our
your phone
website,
number?
our website is www.jaffarian.com. That's Jaffarian, Jaffarian, Jaffarian.com. And the number of the dealership, the main number is area code 978-372-8551. 978-372-8551.